Hi, my name is Yumna Nasir. I'm the National Director of Operations for Technology Group. I got inspiration for this idea from working in the field, having a large team to deliver mega projects, and in it we discovered that there's a lot of efficiencies that can be had. The other side of where I get my inspiration is from nature. I want to save a few trees, so this idea is going to help do exactly that. What I hope to gain by getting a seat at the table is just, advancing our industry, showcasing our technologies, and again, saving a few trees while we're here.
How are you?
Great. How are you? All ready?
As ready as one can be. All right. Well, thank you guys for having me. Today, I'm here to ask you for just under $173,000 for our idea called seamless integration. If I step back for a second and I go, what is our biggest problem, or one of the key biggest problems when we get into our large projects? It's the pinch point at turnover. It's the time that we go from the commissioning portion into the operations and maintenance portion. And depending on how you strategize, depending on the team, their experience, you end up being there for longer than you need to. We end up, producing mountains and mountains of documentation to turn over that can easily be replaced. We are in the 21st century. We can digitize a lot of these things. So all of these problems, well, there's ways to now solve them with the technology that we have today. And so how do you do that? Well, to me, it's kind of a simple version and taking all of the information that we have and putting it into QR codes. But this is the solution. We calculated turnover was, $5 million just alone on the printing cost. And that was just the turnover documentation, right? And enhanced safety is part of this as well, because you can build in your PSAs, your JHAs, when you pull up, like the asset information to say, well, in order for you to work on this piece of equipment, you need to have a refrigeration license. All of your history from your training during the construction period, it's already recording who's got trained for what. So if I don't have a refrigeration license, maybe I'm not allowed to even get that work order in the first place. So it's just, stepping up your safety in that regard. There's a lot to this. There needs to be a lot of research that needs to happen. So today I'm not coming to you with the whole solution. The $173,000 isn't going to cover the whole solution. It's going to help cover the research, and that's what I'm asking for today. What I'm anticipating is about 6 months to collate the market information. What are the products that are out there so that we can reduce, let's say another software being added to our collection, because if we can reduce and streamline, we should. That is the pitch. Thank you.
6 months.
For 6 months.
That's good. That was a really nice presentation. When we work through this and we get through the phase side and you come up, what do you think is going to be the deliverable at the time when you get by the 6 months perspective? What do you think it's going to look like, and how do you see that progressing from there?
What I see it looking like is the key notes or the key information to help put a business plan together. But it's bringing it down to a more granular scale in terms of the kind of information, and on a scale that anybody can use. Because, well, you have a phone. Everyone has a phone.
Sure.
Right?
A lot of this, I see the logical connection to what you're saying between design build to operations, like to an FM provider or to a client who's operating it. But is it also something that would still be used the other way around, from our FM group to our service arm, or something that our service arm could use as part of any of the buildings and devices they're maintaining?
I do think it can be part of that, because anytime you're going to have an asset, anytime you're going to have service failures, quality failures, you're going to need to address them, regardless of who's addressing them. So this is to help minimize that downtime.
Yeah, I think we are already moving toward digitization in terms of from a document control perspective. There's an opportunity here maybe not to go off on a complete different tangent, but there's maybe an opportunity to do research in some of the existing software and processes we have.
Yes.
And we're working on to integrate some of this into it.
And that's why the first step to me is that research portion, right? We need to figure that out internally first.
So this is a bit of exploratory, right? This is, we don't have a business case yet. So, gentlemen, we're being asked to spend $175,000, I'll round it up, for an idea and a concept. It's a good one. To me, I like the idea. I have to kind of figure out how that fits into budgets, of course. And also, I would like to be someone thinking about, we talk about the business case. It's always good to have some idea of the outcome in terms of dollars that we might be saving, and you touched on it. That's the thing I'd like to hear more about, because at the end of the day, I want to save money. I love the idea that we're making more money, and I think your idea has an idea, and I'd like to just hear more about that.
Okay.
Great presentation, Yumna. I fully support the idea and the concept. My concern with this software is with any in this organization, not Plan Group. I'm shocked if this is not in the organization anywhere today. Love the idea, we need it. It's going to make everybody's life easier, especially on my service side. We have maintenance that we need that QR code to see when we last worked on that unit. So how do we get to the next step? My one question would be, it was 2 people for 6 months. Is that new hires or find somebody in the organization?
It can be someone in the organization, but they have to be dedicated for that period of time.
Yeah, they'd have to be dedicated, because I think it'd be hard to find 2 people on
Yes.
a 6-month contract, and
Yes.
it's no good. We gotta pull somebody off.
And we
what
want
to do.
people within Plan too, right?
Yep.
They need that understanding and awareness of what we currently have, otherwise it's mute.
Okay, well, if you wouldn't mind, Yumna, thank you very much for the presentation. I think we're gonna chat amongst ourselves to see about whether we go forward with this idea and innovation or not.
Thank you.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice work.
Thank you.
I think it went well for the most part. I think it's making them think a little bit in terms of what opportunities we currently have. And there's going to be a bit of time in terms of digging in.
So I think there's a definite need for it. To mirror what Craig was saying, I do think there's a lot of technology out there right now that does this. And I know from a timing perspective, I don't think this would make a lot of sense for me. So I'm out.
The concern, I think, is you brought up a good one, which is we have a lot going on. I'm wondering does this need to be a separate individual innovation, or can it be rolled into 360 and or Procore? Can we get value out of bringing that in and get both at the same time?
You know, I guess I'm probably shocked because I think I'm actually agreeing with Glenn. So that's one thing I have to relay out. But I definitely believe that this is software that's available. And remember, you know, my fellow board members, she's not saying we're developing this. What she's saying is it's a research process to find out what's actually there.
I agree with what you said there, John, too. Is she does have the tender process there, so she made it clear we're going to go look at, see what's out there, and get a tender process. We need this. We need it from a asset management, from a service side. It will take us above our competitors, and it's going to speed things up when it becomes a handheld device.
I'm fully engaged on 2 projects already. I love it. I can't take on a 3rd project.
Okay, so I think we have our answer.
We do.
Hello, board members.
Welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Welcome back.
Well, first of all, it was a good presentation. We've got some positives and negatives on whether we're going to go through. But we've agreed to, we're going to offer you a seat at the table, so if you'd like to have a seat there.
Hey, how'd it go?
Go through some of the
Thank you.
things we need to go
Well,
with.
it's just comfortable.
Good.
So the offer is, Craig and I want to sponsor the initiative. We want to work with you to come up with this plan and go through it. The key, we want to be sensitive to the concerns that both John and Kevin had, which is there's a lot of large projects going on, and we want to see if we can align with them as opposed to duplicate the efforts. So I think we're going to have to work out the plan.
For sure.
But we see great value in it, and Craig and I are going to sponsor this.
Like I said, I think it's a great idea. I just think there's a lot of, to John's point, there's a lot of big projects going on right now. And, you know, like we all understand, focus gets stuff done. And it's just about, if this is going to happen, there needs to be some focus on it, because there's a lot of focus going on other initiatives. And
Obviously, this is all new for us, and this is going to be a lot of work, so we're going to have to figure out.
That's why
Howie.
God made weekends. So
They are already occupied, John.
I feel really good. I feel happy. I'm thankful that they're willing to spend the time and their own personal time to put into this, and let's see where it goes.